Hey Sunrise, it's Andrew here with your small group questions for this week as we continue in our study in Genesis. If you grabbed one of the journals, it's a great opportunity to just jot down some of the questions, thinking through them. As well, if you wanted a journal, we do have new ones. They did just come in, so be sure to pick one up. For donation of any amount, great to have these as just little ways to keep notes about what's going on and outline the text and do some writing. So again, these are available in the foyer here at the church. But so we dive in this week to verse 2, and in verse 2 we have three parallel verses or statements in this verse, helping us unpack what's going on. So it says the earth was without form and void, first one, and darkness was over the face of the deep, the second, and then the third one, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Now there's several different things that we'll see in this text. Pastor Adam will unpack them more on Sunday morning, but I want you guys to spend some time thinking about this picture of the world that God has created, and as we'll see him bring it into form over the coming weeks. So what image comes to your mind when you read these verses, this verse specifically, these three phrases? What is the image that comes to mind? And from that, what does these verses begin to tell us? Again, how does it relate to verse 1? And then ultimately, we'll see how it relates to verse 3. What's the importance of this verse? Why is it here? Would it be easier if it wasn't here? Questions to ponder as you work through this text. There's a reason God gave us this text and what it teaches. And so two things to think about when it comes to this is, A, what does this verse teach us about God? When you read verse 2, what is the impression that you walk away from about who God is? Now, one of these things can be seen in the idea of hovering over the face of the watery deep. Now, there's a lot to unpack in that, and Adam will cover some in the sermon, but it's that idea of there's a caring aspect in it, that there is a nurturing mentality in that verse. So what does that teach us about God towards his creation? What can we glean from that? And then through that, what do we learn about the Christian faith? What do we learn about the walk that we live out in relation to God? How does that set us into a proper context and how we interact with God and the world around us? So these are just a couple of things to begin to think and unpack as we work through the text. Again, specifically, then from there, how does this transition into verse 3? How does this set the stage for what is coming? Okay, so just a couple things to, again, work through, think about. Also, opportunity in your small group time to spend some time in prayer for missions and what the Lord is doing around the world, specifically in the country of Georgia. Abe gave his report last week, and you can, of course, check out this month's prayer guide on the loop in the list below. If you were looking at this on the loop, there is a little tab there that'll give you the full prayer guide of just what we're praying for this month as we look at the people of Georgia. Hope this is an encouragement. Hope you'll spend some time in Genesis 1:2. It's a lot to unpack in this verse, and I hope that it'll be encouraging. Hope to see you guys Sunday morning at 9 or 11, and then of course we have small groups throughout the week to unpack these truths of what God is doing. Can't wait to worship with you guys on Sunday. See you.